There we go. Hey, everybody. Um, I'm getting ready to create a new video around resistance. Resistance to feeling better, resistance to being okay, resistance to healing, resistance to releasing your stuff. And I decided I'd show up in here and just talk about this a little bit. I'm going to talk it through here, so be patient with me in order to create some work for YouTube later. And I'll post that video in here also. I'm going to cover kind of the same stuff again. But what I wanted to talk about today is the whole notion of peeling layers, because that's a term that I've encountered a lot. And it's not something that I say. It's not a term that I use, because that is not reflective of the work I'm doing. I'm going to tell you why. The thing that inspired this semi-rant was I had a comment yesterday that a person left me on one of the videos and said, basically, I'm just kind of paraphrasing here and reading a little. I released a lot of core burdens that originated in childhood, and with all the years of healing work that I had done, I had no idea so much stuff was still stowed in my neck and shoulders. And then this person said, layers and layers indeed. Thank you again, very profound. Okay, and I was kind of hanging in there with her until she said layers and layers indeed, and I thought, crap, no. I'm going to tell you why. I have the ability to see the human energy field, and among other things. But that's why I give the explanation that I do of how tapping works. It's because it is visibly working this way in the human energy field as we're doing this work. I see it. I see the energy patterns as they flow. So my explanation is rather different, vastly so, than anybody else's explanation of what tapping is and why it works and how it works. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong. I can only tell you what I see. I don't know that anyone else, they're basing it on research. I am not. I'm not a researcher. But I do see how it's working. So I'm going to give you a good example of that. And it's been a couple years ago. I was on a podcast and did some tapping with one of the women that was hosting it. And it was a childhood issue, I believe. I can't remember where it was showing up in her body, but we tapped for a few minutes and it was gone. She felt it go. I saw it go. I could see it. And she breathed this big sigh and then said, great. And then after we were off camera and live, we were still seeing each other. She said, oh, it feels good to peel another layer. And I thought, nope, not going to let that slide. And I said, no, that is not what we just did. What you just turned loose of is gone from your energy system. Gone. Permanently and forever, unless you as a powerful creator decide to invite it back. And I'm going to suggest that maybe you don't want to do that. Don't invite it back. And she kind of looked at me. I think she was a little taken aback. But anytime, and people use that term, peeling layers. And when I hear that now, I know that it is resistance. It is resistance to letting go of that thing. It is resistance to feeling really better. It's resistance to getting out of pain and letting go permanently of whatever it is you're holding on to. Because this work will do that for you. You don't have to peel layers. And in all fairness to humans as a species, I think we're kind of past it. We are at the greatest turning point in history for our species. We're going through the most intense transformation that we have ever undergone. Do you really want to be screwing around peeling layers, or do you want to just step into it and let it go? Because you have a choice. But as long as you use that layer peeling language, you are keeping yourself in that pain, in that issue, in that problem. Now, I'm not saying that 100% of anything that anybody has is going to be gone just like that. It usually is not. Many times it is so. But give yourself the benefit of how powerful you are and actually step into it and actually say, I am going to let go of this. It's my intention to let go of this. Instead of saying, oh, I'm peeling a layer. Genuinely stop peeling layers. Just stop it. Stop using that language, please. We need all of us to be okay and to be here now. And that brings me into a segue, the next thing I want to talk to you about. Because I had my daughter, this is a quote from my daughter. She was on a call with someone who was having a tough day. And I won't give you any more context than that, but this made me really proud. And she said to this person, no discomfort is ever wasted. No discomfort is ever wasted. And I actually, we were driving, and at the next stoplight where I had to sit for a minute, I stopped and I wrote that down because I thought it was so profound. Because she uses what she's been through and what someone else has been through to help people, the same way that I do. So when you bring me your stuff, you bring me your pain, you bring me your issues, that discomfort is not wasted. You and I, are turning it into something better. It's not wasted. And in fact, when I might hear someone speak, as I did the other day, about self-doubt or about fear of being judged, those things cause me, because I know how to do it, to create public work in the world on YouTube in video form to help people who are having that problem. They can let it go. No discomfort is ever wasted. I thought that was really comforting. And the fact that my daughter said it, oh my God, how cool is that? Now, there is another thing I want to talk to you about. I thought, where do I want to go with this next? And because I wasn't sure where I wanted to go next, I took a break and opened emails. Don't we all do that? And the first thing up that I saw was this. It says, you are the living hope of all your ancestors. You are the living hope of all your ancestors. Oh my God, that's pretty powerful. And that leads me into something else I want to talk about, which is soul contract work. It is a thing that I only do with private clients because honestly, I don't know how to do it as a group. It's too personal, too individual. It is something that I do on a regular basis with private clients. It sometimes involves tapping and sometimes doesn't. But what happens is, and again, you don't have to actually believe that it works this way. You only have to be willing to consider the possibility that it might, maybe, and just go along with me for a few minutes while we do this work. It is profound. It is a huge release. It gets people where they need to be in terms of letting go of stuff. Because, let's just say, I'm going to try and think of a good example, but some of your very worst, most awful relationships, think of the big one, the very worst relationship you've ever had with anybody. And it may be a spouse or a parent or a sibling or whatever, whoever it is, just bring that to mind for just a minute. And just go, ugh, because we're all going, yeah, and we all have it. Now I want you to understand that you learned some things from that. And they weren't easy things to learn. It was a big push you got from that person. You may still be getting it. I want you to consider the possibility that the two of you came to an agreement before you were ever born into these bodies. And because You knew that you needed to learn certain things for your highest and greatest spiritual growth in this lifetime. And I believe we live many, many times. You may not. It doesn't matter either way. I don't require you to believe it. Just consider for a few moments that it might be possible. So you have a list. I see people walking around with clipboards, in the great beyond, in heaven, if you will. And you might say to this group of souls who love you beyond all measure, hey, I need to learn this awful thing. This is a hard thing, but this is what I need to learn in this lifetime. Can one of you help me? Who wants to help me? Who can help me with this? And after a bit of consideration, one will step forward and say, I can do this. It won't be easy because we're going to have a really unpleasant relationship. But I love you enough to do this for you, not to you, for you, for your highest and greatest good, for your greatest spiritual growth point. I will do this for you. And then someday when we're not in our bodies again, we're going to laugh about it. And I have seen over and over and over again, when we do this work, it is the most freeing, liberating thing for those people ever. It's fantastic. It's a great thing. So, soul contracts. Oh, but what if it's true? What if it's true? What if you are actually the living hope of all your ancestors? What would you do different? How would you live your life? What would you change? These are some good questions. And I want you to leave me some I want you to leave me some comments below this live. Because these are, I want you guys to think about this stuff. Really, really consider it. Think about it. Turn your heads on. Be present. Let me help you. Let's do this work together and let go of some stuff. Because the time is here. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We can stop jabbering about it and talking about it and waiting for someone to drop out of the sky. We're here right now, all of us. You. I'm talking to you. It's your time to be better, feel better, do better. And I'm here to help you. We're here to help each other. So I appreciate you listening to this rant. I'll do some tapping in the video that's coming, and I'll post it here in this group later. So thank you for listening to my rant. Mwah. I'll see you again soon. I actually will see you again on Friday because I'm doing live tapping work there and taking requests from you guys. Friday, the 17th of September. Be there. I'm looking forward to it. So I will see you again soon.